Yo, yo, quick update. Show you what the game looks like. Well, fuck it, I'll show you that first once I care. I'm just gonna wait for a Zwerhow. Alright. Okay, so that's what the game looks like now. I added a little health bar thing just for easy peasy visuals, just to see how much damage I'm taking. I don't know, just felt like the right thing to add. And then I added a critical attack. So the enemy has this set of attacks, and one of them is a critical attack. Excuse me, there's an interface that we use to say whether or not this attack is a critical, because whenever I parry a weapon, weapon needs to know, weapon, am I critically attacking now or not? Right now there's just one of the many attacks. There aren't many, but one of the attacks is a critical. And if it's a critical attack and I parried it, then it's a critical parry. And critical parry means that the pitch is dropped way down, just because I don't feel like making another parry sound right now. I like the down. The deeper one sounds like yeah, it sounds like Berserk Sword. It sounds pretty good. I'll wait for it again. I'll just make it so there's only one attack. One sec. Okay, so you can only do this one. So primary inspiration, couple things. One is just Dark and Darker Longsword parry. Right. Hold, wait. Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Wait here. Hold. Okay, here we go. Boom. Bam. Bam. And he does it opposite side, but doesn't matter. I got this fucking sword I showed. Doing a little bit of practicing and stuff. So the point is, when an attack comes, I only have one critical parry now, but the point is there would be 4 different critical parries. There are attacks from the left, right, down, and up. Right now, I just have them all the same critical parry, but if you parried to the right, and it was a critical enemy attack, you would unleash some sort of right starting multi attack. Right now, they all do vertical. Vertical one would be parrying up, which is just this for now. It seems like it's relatively realistic. Parrying up, ding. So one here, one here. That makes the most sense. So it's 2 attacks. So I had to update the logic because one issue is that in the character mesh, I made this I made this physics asset. We have all these different primitives, right? And the sword hits, or the weapon hits home. Piece of oatmeal. Okay, I'm good. The weapon hits are determined by whether any of these are hit. And right now I limit it so that one animation can only hit the enemy one time. So if the sword is coming, you might hit this primitive on the enemy, and then this one, and potentially this one too. If we went down like this, we hit 3, that would be set the same damage. For now, there's no body-based damage, bodily parts. It's just the same. So, or maybe attack-based, whatever. But I don't want that to do 3 separate hits, because odds are in real life, and even in a virtual world, the sword's not going to cut all the way through you. You're going to just take the damage the one time. Right? So Um, and limit that, but that means that any animation can only hit you one time. So what happens to animation is carry up 1 second. How do we do damage the second time? Well, I just updated the logic. Previously, I used this like that. Previously, I was using a check in the weapon. Basically, I had a boolean that was called can multi-attack, and I was setting can multi-attack to be true if we did a critical parry. Because if we critical parry, or 1, 2, like 2 attacks. One is like 2 or more attacks. That would work. We say, hey, if we're doing a critical riposte, if we can multi-attack and we update that from whoever's doing the attacking, then I just clicked in here, but I guess that makes it think there are changes, whatever. Excuse me. We ignore the check and allow as many hits as possible, or as many hits as happen if we're allowed the multi-attack. But the problem was some of those instances were full of those primitives. And then we were back to square one. Oh, so I actually can never just allow any hit to deal damage. I can only allow the hit to do damage once, save that actor into an array, and then every time we hit during the same attack, we check to see, hey, has this guy who's already been hit once gotten hit again? Is this him? Is this one of our guys? We added him to the array, and then we hit again in the same slash. If it's another guy, okay, he's not in our same array. We can damage him too. Oh, but then I hit another primitive on him. Added him to the array already. Did we already hit him? Yes, we did. Don't damage him. I need that logic to stay. Well, then how do I allow multiple hits in one animation? Oh, I just have a function, an interface for efficiency in the enemy class, player class, and from an anim notify, whenever the second attack comes around and is about to do damage, we just reset the weapon's targets just like we do at the start of every attack. We basically just reset like we're doing another attack. That's literally just an interface and a sword. That way we don't have to cast an object to a sword. And we just call a function that just clears the array. Easy peasy. All I do is I just call that in an anim notify in the player. Easy peasy. Or in whoever. And both of the classes implement it. So it calls the same shit in the weapon. So we're good to go. That's one thing. You probably already saw the blood, right? The blood particle. The direction. Really? Well, I guess I can still manipulate it. I was gonna say I could look. Well, I'll just show you. I could parry. I can technically look down, look up, the downward attack, or I guess upward attack from the enemy, and I can parry it up still. Technically, I could do that if I up this, up, down, my up, or down, vertical, my up attack. The attack that happens when I parry probably coming. Yeah. So I've been trying to figure shit out, trying to find out what else I want to do. How do I want to improve the parry experience and make this good before I start worrying about stuff like decapitation or arms falling off. Like if I have a separate version of this static mesh, and if I'm able to just hide, I can probably do that. I can, if I update the mesh so that each part has its own material, then I think I can hide each part. So I could summon, or I could create a static, or not a static, but an actor that's just this skeletal mesh. And then whenever the character loses an appendage or something, I can hide the arm on him, then summon that actor and hide all but the arm, and then have just that actor that's an arm flop to the ground. And then limit, and then I can go into him and say, okay, he can't do any more left attacks. He can only do up or right or down attacks or whatever. So he's using, and then technically I could also update it using a long sword like this. Then it's gonna be a lot harder to use one handed because this is only 2 pounds. It's fucking hard to use one handed. So, granted, I'm not super strong, but fuck, it's difficult. Then I could slow his animations down too, which could be cool. So there's an actual benefit to taking off someone's arm besides just the arm being off. So there's a guy on YouTube. I'm not into ASMR, but I found this fucking Yes Please ASMR channel, and they have all these fucking haircuts, and I've been listening to all these fucking haircuts. I don't watch the weird shit, just the haircuts. They're fucking good. And massages, just because, I don't know, just, I was gonna say it chills me out, but it just, I don't know, just the fucking, the sounds of getting a massage, dude. Never had a massage, but I fucking want to go get one so bad. I just hear the fucking, sounds like, I don't know, it's just amazing. It tires me, but it focuses me too. It's weird. It's just satisfying. I don't know. I like getting back scratches and shit, so it brings me back home. It's nice. But I found this guy, I was explaining that because it was on the tabs. I found this guy Lowhound. Been watching a bunch of his videos, and he literally has a channel that's fucking dedicated to analyzing the parry mechanics in a whole bunch of games. Some of them aren't as relevant. They're 3D, or figure out what the parries are like, and they're not really relevant pretty quick. But there are some others that are pretty useful. So again, I've just been Sekiro, main inspiration. Some 2D, 3D games that I can't really tell what's happening because I don't play games like those. Like this Onimusha one. I can't actually even tell what the parry is. It just looks like you're countering it, counterattacking. It looks like you're just dashing from one guy to the other, which doesn't, there's no telegraph of the enemy attack. Oh, I guess there is. That guy, he was attacking first, but most of these, I feel like you can't even see the attack coming first. Maybe I'm just not seeing it, but I guess these guys are rolling around, and the rolling around you can parry, something like that. But basically just looking at a bunch of other games for inspiration to see how I want to do this. I've been going back and forth again with this fucking parry volume shit, meaning, do I want the weapon to have to be coming in really close to parry? In Elden Ring, the answer is yes. In or Dark Souls, Elden Ring, same shit. In Souls-like games, the answer is, except Sekiro, the answer is no. You carry it straight away. And the difference between that is, if we skip the overlap, I can parry the second the weapon is coming down. Parried. See? Parried. Even though I'm pretty far away. That. But if I enable that volume instead, or if I enable this, then the weapon has to be with, I've talked about this a bunch of times in these videos now, but I keep talking about it because I'm not sure if I want to use it or how. I recently increased the volume so that as the weapon's coming in, you can parry it from farther away, because the Zwerhau attack, I assume that just means one, it's like a vertical, or it's like an overhead lateral. I guess it doesn't have to be lateral. It could be this coming in, arm exposed, like that. It's still the same line. So satisfying. Like that. Not, it's very fun. But that attack does, he feel like he's carrying the attack vertical or diagonal, and then he's coming, attack is going to see the blade. The game kind of trains you looking at where the enemy's weapon is, because that's where you need to look to parry. Weapon comes up, then it comes around the other side very quickly, and it's coming horizontally. So it's not even coming, oh, it's here, now it's here, now it's fucking right up already. And not to mention, it's also pretty quick. So I'm just trying to think about animations like that, where either they come in quicker or they threaten you in a way that's not expected. The parry consistency isn't there. It might just be that, okay, it's harder to parry because of that type of animation, and deal with it like a Dark Souls kind of Souls like. See, I got hit in that meantime too. That's the other thing I'm thinking about. Whether, like, if I get hit first and then the parry happens, I guess there's a damage delay maybe in Dark Souls, where if you've parried in the past X amount of time, then you didn't take damage just now. So only apply damage like half a second after you actually get hit. Because you can see in Dark Souls and other Souls-like games, the weapon will actually go through you. It's hit. So the logic isn't a simple trace, you've been hit, damage applied. It's instead something maybe hits, and either there's a delay and a check to see if you've parried, and then somehow there has to be a check. Either there's a quick reversal, you've been hurt, but then we reverse it, parried the attack, so you're not actually hit. Or more likely, I think there's a delay or some sort of extra check before the damage is applied. There's like a extra calculation. Like the weapon is overlapping the player. Has the player parried the weapon? Oh, he has? Okay. No damage and do the parry. But if instead he hasn't, then we do the damage. For me, I need it to be live where you're getting hit because I want the blood to come out of where you've gotten hit, so that way we can do location-based damage that Dark Souls and other games don't have, where you cut off arms and whatnot. So if I had a Zverhau right here, then the enemy's head off, and if the enemy's head flew off, he just comes to the ground. That would be sick. I want to do some more polish in this game that I wasn't able to do in Major Arena, because I have time to actually polish and work on the mechanics. Don't have to worry whatsoever about multiplayer. Zero. No networking, no replication. It's so freeing. So like that. I parried and it enabled me to do the counterattack, but I also took damage. So either there's a delay after and the damage comes, or there's another solution I'm not thinking of. Or, even with the delay, because then the blood delay wouldn't make sense either. I was going to say, the blood stuff needs to happen straight away. So, like in Dark and Darker, I guess you can only parry. So the point is this. My arm is here. And weapon hit my arm, dealt and hurt me. But my arm is here, and my camera, see the weapon. So I parry it, and it parries. Then we get the riposte. But by then I've already taken damage. So versus in Dark and Darker, you only parry with the longsword if you parry it. So if you've already been hit, then didn't parry it. But there, it's actually the weapon itself being hit that's the parry, not just trace. So it's literally one animation fine here. If you have a boolean check and repost is parrying, and if this guy gets overlapped, then the second operation you can initiate the parry by right click. One. This is hit. But instead for this mechanic, it's not me clicking and then the sword has to move and then the sword either connects or doesn't connect with the other sword. Parry. It's instead a trace. Which means that trace is still possible after I've been hit. Unless, if I've been hit by the attack, we make the sword unparryable, which would just make it more difficult to parry. Like, if in the weapon logic, because these aren't just swords, but if in the weapon logic I added an is parried bool, something like that, can be parried, if we've applied or rather, we don't actually even need that really. I guess we just need a function that returns whether or not the current actor is in this array. Because if we're currently in this array, that means that the person swinging the sword is still swinging it, because Well, actually, it only gets reset on the start. Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. So the sword starts to get swung. That means the array is reset. This guy hasn't hurt anybody yet. I just hit you, which means you're now in the array. And so if you've been hurt and then you try to parry, which your parry logic will happen, so you try and parry. So you right click, which initiates parry logic. The parry logic goes and says, hey, did the weapon parry? All we have to do is return no if the array includes the guy who's calling this receive parry. All we have to do is pass in the guy who's trying to parry and check if he's already been hurt. If I've already been hurt by this sword, boom, I parried it. But that probably then means that either I need to take off this volume, give that up because parrying is going to be difficult, or I extend it, which at that point is probably just going to be the same. So, and why would I do this? What is the point of this? Why am I spending time thinking about this? The point is it an issue to be hit and still parry? Does that make sense? I feel like it doesn't. Which means that if I made these changes, then a successful parry means you have not been hit by that weapon. Which is good, it makes sense. If I'm here and I get hit, if it hits my body, then I can't parry it. If it hits my head, I can't. I mean, it could come in and then I bring it out. That creates an, I guess, it's parry. But that's like the only exception. My arm gets hit, or chest, or legs, or anything gets hit with a sword. I've probably already been hit, and I've probably lost something or been cut into. How am I supposed to get my blade there now? Parry. Parry should be initial conflict, initial thing with the weapon. So I'm going to add that and test to see if that's better. That way the experience is, maybe parries are difficult to land, but if you land it, then you were not hit. It's not a, oh, it comes into me like Dark Souls, and then I parry, even though the blade's already hit me. No, the blade's already hit me. So, okay, something like that. That's what I'll work on next. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a question that needs answering, but I don't want to just ship a game and then it be like one of these fucking buggy ones that Lowhound was talking about. Like, or is it the one with the whips? Yeah, this one. Bloody spell. Jank. But you parry the guy, it's like a flash in front of you. The guy swings his whip around once, and then like 4 times. And it takes like 2 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You can't even move or do anything. So I don't want to just leave a shit mechanic and then not think about it. So that's it. All right, bye. That's the game for now, I guess.